How Madakiepi. Welcome to Hóčhoka here at the center of St. Joseph's Indian Schools campus. I'm your host, Scott Wooster, and today is a very special day at St. Joseph's Indian School. Today we have our 8th grade graduation, and I've been to now 32 of these things, and they're very, very special. And as you can see, I'm not wearing a Hóčhoka shirt today. I'm wearing a ribbon shirt in honor of these kids that'll be graduating today. So it's a little different. There's a little different feel in the chapel out here, and there's a little different feel back here. And it is indeed a special day because I have with me this year's Distinguished Alumni, and that is LaToya Crazy Bull. And I should let you introduce yourself, LaToya, if you would like to, and you can do a Lakota introduction if you'd like.
Sounds good. Hamatakia chante washena chiusa pichto wayang pichishni kichizewi kui chasha oyate tahaya hiye si changu makoche imataha. Hello, my friends and relatives. I greet you with a good heart and a good handshake. My given name is Fights Invisible Woman. I'm an enrolled member of the Lower Bruce tribe. I currently reside on the Sichangu Mukoche Rosebud Sioux tribe, and I am an alumni from St. Joseph's Indian School. Not very long ago, I was sitting in the same spot, waiting for this 8th grade graduation, nervous, wanting to get it over with and see what we're going to do for the rest of the summer. So all the nerves, a lot of beautiful ribbon skirts out there. Everybody looks ready.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. Okay, so we have a very small amount of time to talk about a lot of stuff because you packed a lot of things into, you packed a lot into the life you had when you were here, and then you packed a lot into the life since you've been here. So we want to unpack a lot of that if we can.
Yes.
And I'll just say, what year did you graduate?
2010.
In 2010?
Yes.
Okay, and I've known LaToya for a long time. Full disclosure, when you were a student here, everybody knew you.
Yes.
You were a social butterfly, and you were outgoing, and people, at the risk of glazing you too hard, people loved you. Tell me about your experience here. I'll let you tell the story.
Yes.
I was going to try to tell it myself, but you tell me.
I came to St. Joseph's Indian School in 1st grade. I was raised by my great-grandmother. Getting away from the reservation and getting a better opportunity for school was the ultimate reason why I was sent here.
Yep.
Growing up, I didn't know we were considered poor, quote unquote, until you get out. I had food, I had warm home, I had electricity, I had love, and that was what I thought was good. And then you get to the outside world and you're like, oh, you don't have a lot of the things other people have. But coming to St. Joe's, I was a big grandma's girl. 1st to 3rd grade, we were a co-ed home then, so we had boys and girls then. I remember being so lonely, crying for my grandma. Sunday nights, showers, get ready for bed. I would cry for my grandma. So growing up then, just being away from home, we would have breaks. She would come when she could. Money was always tight, so we would just be here at St. Joe's. But the plus side to that, being at St. Joe's over the weekends, during the longer periods of time, we were able to get used to the system, being able to get used to routine, looking at the other fun things that St. Joe's offered. So there would be activities. I love playing outside. I love to be outside. So we started doing hikes and walks, and Chalk Hills became a favorite hiking spot. I don't know if the vines are still back there, if people still hike back there, but that's where we used to always go. Some of the house parents were really good about making sure we got out to hike and walk and be outside. The campus has really grown in terms of activities. The playground, I don't know how many changes it's had. We've had a lot of great playgrounds there. A lot of mishaps. I know the banana slide, I fell off backwards on that and knocked myself out. So
really?
That's why you follow rules and don't climb up the slide backwards.
There you go.
So I learned that one. And then the playground changed from there, rolling down the hill, the slip and slides. Sledding on the side over there by the cafeteria. We've had a couple of my classmates had some accidents there and
big ones.
Broken legs. So we've had that.
Never forget it.
Bike riding. I remember our first bike ride uptown. We were so excited, had to get on a certain phase
Yeah.
to ride uptown. We're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's ride uptown. We don't even get into town and we're hurting and we want to turn around and we're like, no, we don't want to ride uptown no more.
Yeah.
It was a long way.
Yeah.
So a lot of that doing, and then getting involved in sports. So sports was my outlet, my key,
Yeah.
my basically safe haven.
Junior high?
Junior
Would you say
high.
here
Yep.
at-
Junior high probably was the big start. Grandpa Jerry Vaught was our bus driver.
Yeah, he was.
He was our coach, bus driver, first aid person, anything we needed.
Yep.
And then so we had a lot of good people come through with coaching staff. I found my outlet with running.
Yep.
Apparently, I found out I was good at running,
Yes, you
and
were.
that's where we started, and that's where my journey continues.
Yeah.
So middle school, let's see, basketball, volleyball, track, cross country, a lot of the extracurriculars, Native American Club, dance group. I'm just trying to think of some big memories that we had here.
And some of that continued into high school too,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So our audience, I think, knows pretty well now that you go here for first through eighth, and then you go up to Chamberlain High School, the public school for high school.
Yes.
And I feel like that was going up there and being in sports was a big deal for you because it helped you to get involved with kids up there. In fact, my two daughters ran with you on the cross country
Yes.
teams. Maybe 2 state championship teams you were on? Or
I
it
was
one?
on one state championship team, and then I placed one year.
Okay.
And then
Stood on
we
the
didn't
podium.
have the yes. Coach Winter was our cross country coach, and he's very tough. It's very intimidating coming in as a freshman.
Yeah.
So my summer from 8th grade into freshman year, they have camps in the summer.
Yeah.
And if you stay in town and in the summer home, you can come for the camps and the early bird camps to transition. They're watching you, 8th graders. They will watch you. They're scouting.
Yeah.
They look at who's coming up, who's into sports, who they think they can talk into sports too, because
Right.
there's always spots open.
Yeah.
If there's a set team, don't think that's the final. You can always come in and try out too.
Yep.
So I was interested in volleyball, and so
Yeah.
I went to the summer camps, and cross country coach was there, and hey, come run with us. Let's see what you can do. And I was like, no, I want to play volleyball, and it was fun. Like I got to know both the coaches, so it was a kind of back and forth thing of they were going to bribe Mr. Winter with a 12-pack of Mountain Dew, so I could go
That's what he
do
likes.
both. Yeah. And Mrs. Donovan was the JV coach then. She was pregnant then, and we were doing sets and spikes. And I got up and I spiked, and it went back and it hit her on the side. And I was so scared, and that scared me because I thought I hit her and the baby.
Yeah.
And I just kind of stepped back. And so I was like, well, I'm going to take a break, give it a couple days, I'm going to go run. And then I went to go run cross country, and she's like, no, I'm completely fine.
Yeah.
You're good. Come back and play and join us. And I didn't go back. I was scared. And so we joked about, oh, you just got scared of volleyball.
Yeah.
And so we teased my 4 years of high school.
Yeah. I've never
went
heard
to-
that story
yeah,
before.
so
That-
it was, we had a couple open gyms, and we were working on our spikes and sets, and
Well,
So-
and your cross country career worked out great, and your track
Yes.
career too. I watched you at state meets and cross country and in track, and it was a blast.
Oh,
to
yes.
do that.
Let's talk about my freshman year. Coming in freshman year, I get so nervous at that starting line. Looking back, we always joke that if I cried at the starting line, I was going to do good. I would
Okay.
get so nervous.
Yeah.
Even my 8th grade, I ran a varsity race. White River was my first varsity race. Grandpa Jerry for St. Joe's took us out, and he was like, you're going to run varsity. And I was like, no, I'm so scared. And I was like, I don't even know what to do. And he was like, stay behind the golf cart that leads everybody out. So White River course is the old airport course.
Yep.
So you just take that big loop out there. And so I stayed, we got out, I took off, and he was like, pace yourself, you're going too fast. And I was just so nervous, and I was wiping my tears and going and trying to get out there. And he was like, stay behind the cart. And I was like, okay, and crying and wiping my eyes. And I was so nervous. We go around the first half mile. He's checking times. He's like, stride out, relax your arms, pace yourself, stay behind the cart. And so I just, start relaxing, get my hands loose, stride out. And we start going, and we start coming around the 2 mile, and I hear people, go, go. And I was like, where do I go? And we get all the way back through, go back your second loop. And he's like, you're almost done. You're doing good. And I get done, and he was like, there, you ran varsity. You won. And I was like, what? And he's like, you just ran your
Won
varsity
the
race,
race?
and you won it by like about
Holy
almost
cow.
2 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so then that's when you're like, okay, who's this girl that's running for St. Joe's? You know, then Chamberlain was there, started asking questions. White River coaches were asking, you know, all the local coaches.
Yeah.
So I started getting recognized there.
Yeah.
So coming into freshman year, it was hard adjusting. Pace work was not a favorite. Running multiple laps for pace work, that was hard.
Yeah.
Learning what type of shoes to wear, didn't have any knowledge of that type of thing. Making sure you stretch, making sure you hydrate. Knee pain started, growing pains started. Freshman year, we had a really good team going into state. Both our men's and women's team made it to state.
Yep.
And if you place, you know, the whole team has to wait. And I don't know what happened our freshman year. Our teams did not do too well. I medaled top 25, so everybody had to wait for me. So
Yeah.
it was
Well,
kind of
you
a
stood
little
out there
intimidating. Yes,
in
it was so
in
cold.
shorts and a tank top, right? Because
it was
Coach
so
Winter
cold.
wouldn't let you wear your sweats
We have
on
to
the
wear
podium.
uniforms on
Yeah.
the podium, and it was so cold that year. Oh, and I had my grandma there and my grandpa, and they were bundled, and I felt so bad. They were out in the wind and the cold.
Yeah. It's worth it when you do that well, though, isn't it?
And sophomore year was a lot of adjusting, a lot of started having more knee pains, knee problems, kind of rebuilding with the team sophomore year. Junior year, we had a really good team. We weren't ranked middle of the state. We had Sioux Falls and Rapid City that were ranked that year. No one really watched us. We were winning meets, though, and so we just kind of crept and hid in the middle of the state. We get to Huron, and so Coach Winter's giving us his speech. You know, he's really stern, and, you know, we got to stay focused, game plan. Me and my teammate Kayla were running our best times this whole year, so we were slated to place, you know, at least top 25 to medal. That year, I don't know what happened. Just did not feel right. I was so disappointed on my performance. I finished last for our team. I don't even think I got like 50 something.
Yep.
But every girl on our team had an amazing
Right.
race. Oh my God, I was so proud.
Yeah.
Still gets me choked up.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
everybody placed so good. And then Coach Winter brings us in, and he was like, Chamberlain Lady Cubs, get in here. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so cross country, you're top 4 place and you have 2 pushers.
Yep.
So it comes down to, if you're tied with the team, it's your last 2.
Yep.
And I was a pusher, so I ran a horrible race, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, I could cost us this.
Yeah.
Coach Winter's like, Chamberlain Lady Cubs, circle up, get in here. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, don't look at me. And so we get in and we circle up, and he just steps in. Congratulations, you're state champs.
Yeah.
No emotion. And he walks out, and we're like, what just happened? And everybody's silly string goes off behind us. There's confetti things, and like we're waiting, and I'm like, what happened? And everybody starts screaming and crying. And I was like, I ran my most horrible race this whole year, and everybody did great, and we
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
We won. Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
That was it. And so Coach always talks about, oh, you guys won some hardwood or firewood too. So
There you go.
that was the joke. So
Yeah, he's gotta downplay
yep,
it a
he
little
knows
bit,
it.
right?
He knows it. And we were looking at it, and so we weren't ranked at all because
Yeah.
we were in the middle of the state.
Yep.
And so our girls ran some of their best times. I
Yep.
think everybody PR'd. Yeah, I don't even remember what I
70.
placed. And our young girls, oh my
Yes,
gosh,
young
they did
kids.
amazing. I think she got one of our girls was like top 5 that
I
year.
think so. Yeah. And
It
I
was-
have that picture in my basement. of
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh. I
doing
just
that.
remember I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, I probably lost it for us. I don't think we placed. And he just circle up,
Yeah.
just so quiet, so
Deadpan.
stern. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to panic. That was it.
I'm going to pivot a little bit.
Yep.
I'm going to shoot in a different direction because what I want to know is 3 big things, and we're sort of limited on time. But I want to know, what did St. Joe's mean to you? What did Chamberlain mean to you? Obviously, you got involved in a lot of different things. You had a lot of experiences. If you can put it into words,
Yes.
what did all of that mean to you, being a part of this?
St. Joe's in the beginning, I felt it was really hard, just being away from home,
Right.
being a big grandma's girl. But in the end, you build these connections with, like to this day, I still have a lot of people I've met through St. Joe's that are really good lifelong friends. You meet a lot of staff, that are here for the kids. And, even as you grow older, they're lifelong friends. The mentor program has been a big thing
Yeah.
at St. Joe's. And we used to have the Big Brother, Big Sister program at
Yep.
St. Joe's. I remember that was started when I was here. And even then, some of the girls that I mentored, they still reach out like after we've graduated. So
Some of those little kids.
yeah, and so that's a big lifelong thing. Just as a whole, part of it, I know a lot of people resent coming to St. Joe's, and they just have different paths they go on. But you think back, and there's times where like, oh, I don't want to be here. I want to be home, and
Of course.
and I
Yeah.
miss home. And then you get home, and you're like, oh, it's nothing to do. Like there's activities, you can go to the rec center. But I think in general for St. Joe's part, you build that family structure, and that's what they kind of incorporate, and want to make sure you have a family home setting.
Yep.
And most of us don't get that at home, so that's what we long for. And just being home, having a support system, you get your education, you get healthcare. We don't always get that back
Yeah.
home too.
Right.
So being a family setting, I think, is the biggest. I've made so many lifelong friends, family, people that reach out, teachers, everything. Getting out there in those clubs, getting involved really helps you to, open your horizon and expand a lot of things. You get more opportunities, definitely. So again, it's that family structure, and, if you struggle, if you put in that effort and ask for help, it'll be there. People will be willing to help you. Doesn't matter if it's academics, sports, anything. You just have to reach out to and, show you want that help too. So
And put yourself out there a
Yes,
little bit.
definitely.
I think it works both ways too. I think Chamberlain, it's good for them to see, I think you were an ambassador for your culture, for you, for your family, for all those things, and you showed, who you were, and I think that was good for people to see, because you've got people who may not always understand each other, and if you put yourself out there, that understanding comes.
yes.
So, okay, so what are you doing now?
Now, I am currently working at the Sichanga Lakota Oyate Head Start program.
Okay,
I
in
am
Rosebud?
Yes.
Okay.
So we kind of do a few of the outskirt communities. So
Yep.
I am a family advocate, and I work with the Early Head Start.
Yep.
So I work with the Parmalee and Mission Early Head Start programs. So
Okay.
I have about 5 classrooms I work with, about 40 families I work with.
Okay, so it's very interesting. You had a lot of people, caretakers, primarily your grandmother, and a lot of other family members too, and then a lot of people here at St. Joe's, whether they're house parents, teachers, a lot of people. You're talking about coaches at the high school. I know there are teachers up there too. You made the decision to go back and be that kind of person for somebody else too. And you talked even about being a mentor to some of the girls that were at St. Joe's too.
Yes.
So it sounds like you've kind of come full circle with that too. What does that give you,
Yes.
being a part of that now?
Now it's just, you work with the families and the littles. So now it's like the little babies. So the earliest they can come into the program is 6 weeks. So
Oh my
you get
gosh.
the
Okay.
babies,
Yeah.
and you get all the way up to the toddlers.
Yep.
So this age group is really it's really fun. The little toddlers, you get to see a lot of their firsts.
Yeah.
You get to see them their first crawl, their first rolling over.
Yeah.
First teeth come in, and then you get the little toddlers, and they're babbling and getting bigger, and just the growth from the first beginning of the year till the end of the year is a lot. So it's fun. This age group's really fun. And then, kind of the same things that growing up that I've struggled with. Some of the parents here, there's not always resources for them. So we're working on, helping them be more self-sufficient.
Yep.
The outer communities are the ones that are a little tougher, but we're, trying to connect them and help them. We can't do everything for them, but just letting them know there's more resources out there. And that's kind of the hard part too, I think, is just getting people more aware of the resources that are available. And, it's just a lot of dynamics fall into that too. So
Yeah, and making that connection. You said, you talked about St. Joe's feeling like a family, Chamberlain High School feeling like a family, and it sounds like that's what you want to create there too, where they know they can come for help, and people need to put themselves out there and know that the resources are there and find those as they go along.
yes.
Yeah. Now, speaking of full circle, and we've just got a couple minutes left, but full circle, you are actually working closely with St. Joe's now, because you have your brother.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and you're guardian for your brother right now.
Yes.
As well. So, and I can't spin the camera around, but he's sitting here watching our interview right now, and he's one of the greatest kids that we have. He's just an excellent kid, Caden is. But you made the decision to send him to the school, or was he already here when you became guardian? How did he get here?
I made the decision to send him. I know the COVID year we were back in the Todd County School District,
Yep.
and it was okay. It was just a lot harder, but I felt like we needed, at the time I was a new single parent as well, so I needed more resources and more help. And so we kind of talked about it and then made the decision to get him back into St. Joe's and stuff. And he's amazing.
Yeah,
He's doing great. He's getting out there now and finding his way of sports and is it the Explorers program?
Oh, yeah.
And softball. He knows softball in the summertime, so we've been working on that. And we talk about, we all have different learning styles, and that's what I kind of stress. I think for me, it was finding my learning style and knowing not to be so hard on him, because I felt like I was really hard on myself for school. So making sure he's more vocal and asking for help.
Yeah.
And I said, you know all the teachers, and he's like, yeah, they all talk about you. I'm like, you can ask for help. You can ask those teachers for help. So making sure he's comfortable in his academics and reiterating that those come first too.
Yeah. Yep. And I get to be his counselor his family service counselor next year, which is great. I'm looking forward to that. No, it's going to be great. Where is he? It's going to be great, isn't it? Yeah. He's giving me a thumbs up over there in the. Okay. So I want to say this as we wrap up here, that the circle is such a big thing in Lakota culture, and I think things have come full circle with you. I feel it in here today, and I feel it when you talk about your life. And I feel it even when you talk about having Caden come to school here. And there are other parents that used to be kids that go to school here. I work with a lot of them now.
Yes.
And they make that choice to send their kids here. And I think you have a better understanding as an adult, the choice that your grandma would have made when you were young, of why she would have made that decision and what went into it and how much she loved you and how much you love Caden now and you want the best for him. And I'm not saying St. Joe's is the best. That's not what this is about. But I know it's an endorsement that you felt comfortable with life changes that you went through here, that you're wanting him to have that same kind of experience here too, and that it's an endorsement, I think, and it can't. This is so perfect. You're about to receive, truly, if we make it to the ceremony on time, if either one of us quit talking, you'll be at this ceremony here receiving a Distinguished Alumni Award. And LaToya, nobody deserves it more than you do. You were such a special kid when you went here, and your path in life, your Chankuluta, your Red Road is so good right now. And I can't say enough good things about you. So let's get out there and let's celebrate it, shall we?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Loved having you here. And to our audience, we thank you for joining us here at Hóčhoka at the center of St. Joseph's Indian Schools campus. Join us wherever you get your podcasts, on the internet, wherever you might find us. Come see what we're doing here, because it's pretty special. Until next time, stay centered.